Hello everyone and welcome to Don't Be Bored. I'm back with another designer interview, and this time I'm joined by Daniel, the founder of Over the Tabletop and the creator of Broken Paths. This is a path-based game for 2 to 4 players where there's some sabotage and stuff going along as well. So welcome Daniel, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the game.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Daniel, the founder of Over the Tabletop. I founded the company back in 2022. I've always been a big gamer, and I decided to give a shot at making a game myself. From there, I grew my company, and we make everything from board games to accessories to even gaming furniture, such as this gaming table. Um, Broken Paths is a board game that you build paths to the center of the tile path by drawing cards from the middle and building your paths out. The goal is to not only make a path to the center, but also try and stop your opponents from getting there.
That's a really great overview there. So how long has Broken Paths been in development, and what's been the sort of biggest change since the initial concept?
Yeah, so I started working on this game back in early 2022, right around the time I started the company. But this was originally an entirely different game called Theseus's Trials Labyrinth, which was a base building game based on Greek mythology. So I took that core concept of the base building and converted it into a more family friendly version of the game where anybody could play while also fitting a theme of an upcoming movie.
Part of the game is going to be that you can disrupt your opponents by, as the name of the game suggests, broken paths. How did you go about balancing the the need to progress towards a goal tile, but also the fact that you can mess with your opponents?
Yeah, it was a lot of play testing. When I first started, it was just me and a few of my friends, and we played it. We had to change the board around, had to change the amount of tiles in the deck, had to change some of the rules. From there, it was just thousands of play tests, and after that, I've come to a pretty solid edition now where there's multiple different play styles. Some rely more on luck, while some rely more on strategy. It also has a fun little quirk to say if you can't make a path to the center and you know you're going to lose, you may not win, but you can make sure nobody wins. So
I'm sure that a lot of players are going to enjoy messing with their opponents, and you mentioned there that you'd done thousands of playtests, and at least some of those were at Unpub events. That's the Unpublished Games Network. Now, would you sort of go into a little bit of detail about your experience of these playtest events like that, and what tips would you give to sort of budding designers out there who maybe have a prototype of their own that they're thinking of playtesting?
yeah, I've had nothing but positive experiences at these events. All the playtesters are polite and they give great feedback. Definitely some tips for anybody that's looking to do that. One, you have to be open to feedback. Everybody's going to have opinions of your game. You may not like what they're saying, but definitely take it to heart and try it out. It may change the whole concept of the game, but I've had a lot of good breakthroughs just from putting my ego aside and listening to people. Um, don't be discouraged if people don't play your game. Not everybody has time to play every game at a convention, and your game may not fit the theme that some people like. Some people may want to do role playing or space adventures, and your game may just not fit their niche. But don't give up. Definitely don't be passive. If you want people to play your game, go get people to play your game. I've noticed a lot of people will sit around during their allotted slot and no one will play, and they just don't do anything about it. At my last convention that I went to, PAX, in the 3 hour time span I had between 15 and 20 play tests of full groups of four, just because I went out and was grabbing people as they were walking by. And the biggest thing is you can't do it alone. Everybody thinks they can, but between trying to get people to come play your game, having someone explain the rules of the game, and trying to also get people to look you up and learn about your social media and your websites, it's too much for one person. So definitely bring friends along and those are some of the tips I have for anybody that's interested in trying.
That's some really great tips. I know personally, I hadn't necessarily thought that you'd have to have multiple people there. Like, I'd think you'd go there, you'd take your game, you'd teach it. But yes, you'd need some help maybe teaching while you're grabbing some people to do the next playtest, or like you say, other things like getting people to sign up for social media or whatever it is. I think that's a really great tip that hopefully will help some budding designers out there. Now, you mentioned earlier about a movie tie-in thing going on there. Can you talk about that? Sort of, how did that come about, and what can you reveal about it?
So yeah, there is a movie coming. It's called Chronicles of a Broken Path, which is where the name comes from. Um, how I got involved in that, I was a member of I am a member of a group called Ming House, and the owner and founder of Ming House is actually childhood friends with the director of the film. So through them talking and my friend telling him about me and my board games, the director got interested in having a game made for his movie. So through connections, I got involved, and Ming House and Austin Action Fest are going to be partners with me in the movie edition of the game. The movie edition is going to be based around the movie, which is a mixture of like D&D and Lord of the Rings. And in that edition, the players are going to have certain abilities based on the characters in the movie, and you're going to have unique tile cards based on terrain and stuff in the movie. Um, Definitely something you should look forward to. It's supposed to be released late next year, early following year. Check it out. Like I said, it's called Chronicles of a Broken Path, and definitely check out Ming House. They have a lot of other interesting stuff as well.
Talking of people checking things out, where can people go to check out more about Broken Paths?
You can learn more about me, my company, and my products and games at overthetabletop.shop. And there you can send me questions, follow me on social media, and you can even pre-order Broken Paths.
And a rapid fire question to end the interview on: what board game has the best box art?
I would definitely say the original Mousetrap.
And that wraps us up today, so thank you to Daniel for coming on and answering these questions.
Thanks for having me. I had a blast doing this interview, and I hope to be on a future video with some of my other games. Thanks.
The links mentioned earlier will be in the description box downstairs, so you can go and find out a little bit more about Broken Paths. And well, until next time, have a fantastic day gaming.